So, in VRChat, it depends if you're doing public lobbies or private ones, obviously. Most of the private lobbies are pretty chill because it's Friends Plus, so it's only friends of friends. The public ones, however, are kind of chaotic, depending on which ones you join. Like, if you join a Black Cat or Great Pug, it's always going to be very loud and chaotic in general.
Yeah.
But that's kind of par for the course. So you kind of expect that when you go in there.
Probably about 65, maybe 70% negative. There are some people that appreciate the fact that I'm mute when I'm in a public world and won't interact and cause chaos. Obviously, there's some people that will be like, oh, that's definitely a fucking dude. And it's like, well, that's cool on your part, dude, but you don't have to point shit out. You don't have to be this so-called big man. You're not an MVP in the COD lobby. No one cares that you got 12 KD. Like, there's been a few times that people have literally come up to me, call shit, try kicking me from my world because I'm silent and I'm wearing female avatars in full body tracking. Shouldn't pay them any attention. At the end of the day, it's a block button that exists for a reason.
Women have been unjustly held back from achieving full equality for much of human history in many societies around the world. Even though recently there have been surges forward regarding this topic, there still lies a hidden layer that seeks to undermine the progress made through time. This hidden layer gets exposed when one gives a platform like VRChat that allows individuals to say and do whatever they want without any consequences. We seek to expose this hidden layer and bring light to these situations brewing over the game. Another voice that brings light to these situations can be seen here. What has your experience been like as a woman in VRChat?
I'd say it's greatly changed over the amount of time I've been playing the game, because I've been playing VRChat since it more or less came to Steam. So from 2017 till now, I think it's probably vastly changed. Back in the early days of VRChat, it was more friends, more of people just up to like shenanigans, having fun in worlds, causing chaos. No one was particularly heavy into like dating or flirting or things like that. I think as time has gone on in VRChat, that whole thing has shifted now. A lot of people are more into like the whole online dating scene. A lot of people are more, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not monogamous. Is it platonic? I'm not sure. I think a lot more people are, things like a lack of respect with how they approach more people online. There's a lack of consequences for people. I think a lot more people tend to be a lot more aggressive with how they approach people.
I think so. Though, like, men do get, well, any full body person will get called out, to be fair. But if you're in a masculine avatar, and I have like literally been a masculine avatar and just been mute compared to in the feminine ones that I prefer, and it's night and day the difference. Like people just leave you alone or actually come up and try to start a proper conversation rather than, you know, immediately trying to get into your pants just because of what is in your pants. It doesn't particularly bother me that much because again, I don't. You just have to know not to hesitate to block them. If someone's being creepy, don't try to engage. Immediately block them. But yeah, no, I do think a woman's experience on VRChat, you are gonna get catcalled. You're gonna come across more creeps than most guys, but guys still do come across creeps when it comes to relationships as well, especially. But day to day, yeah, a woman is going to have more creepy interactions than most men.
I do, and the only reason why I say that is because for the first 2 years of my life in VRChat, I did represent a male, and it was less abuse, less aggression from the general public worlds. Nowadays, if you're a female and you go into a public world, you're gonna get called e-whore, e-girl, OnlyFans, this, that, the other. It's just generally abuse. And if you say I'm with my partner, like, oh, what are they, dude, girl? And if you say, oh, I'm with a female partner, it's the same thing. They'll just be like, oh yeah, they just haven't had the right dick, or they'll try to worm their way in and try and manipulate you into having some sort of erotic threesome with them. It's just, in all fairness, it's kind of sad being someone in their living room or their bedroom, still living in their parents' house, trying to all that kind of move.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, when I first started playing the game, it was a lot more friendly, as I said earlier. But I think the past year or two, you go into a public world, if you're just hanging out with some of your friends and they happen to be there, the amount of the male, obviously this game has a far more male player base than it does female. So a lot of the guys, random people that you will encounter, will drop slurs, be heavily sexual towards you, regardless of like age differences or not knowing anything about you, especially if you're a full body user or anything like that.
Yeah.
They tend to be a lot more heavily flirtatious, even if you're uncomfortable or you tell them to go away, you're not interested. They're very persistent, and then obviously if you turn them down, then it's straight to negative comments and all that kind of stuff towards you.
Online games allow for deplorable actions to take place with no repercussions. VRChat being a main example of this also adds another element into the mix, this being sexuality. To dive deeper in this, VRChat includes avatars that have DPS, that can perform sexual activities. This can lead to many uncomfortable situations that are adjacent to real-life scenarios. An example of this is what we see here.
Coming up to me and says, hey, I've seen you in a Pornhub video. I was like, oh, what the fuck? Send me the link. They send me the link, and it's literally just my unconscious body laying there while these two users in desktop, I can't remember the names for the life of me, basically have recorded themselves having their way with my body using the EPS, SPS that VRChat offers for erotic roleplay and stuff like that. And it hit quite a legal lawsuit. I had to DMCA them. I had to like really go out of my way to kind of like get that taken down. Luckily, Pornhub's moderation team and stuff were very supportive. They took it down immediately. I did end up taking them to legal action, and I did win. So that was a good thing that came out of that. It was quite stressful at the time because it was while I was still being a big streamer amongst the community. So it was kind of like, this is so degrading towards my personal image.
Yeah. Negative experience and turn it into a positive aspect of their life. This obviously is the biggest.
Sorry, Booger Eater 23 got on Terraria as I'm recording, so.
To one's life, since VRChat is completely based upon.
I can't breathe.
I